Shalom Aleichem, ladies and gentlemen, and we meet again towards Parashat Vayigash for a short and sweet idea on this very interesting drama that we're having here between Yosef and his brothers and the father. So actually we had the big drama from last week was, is Yaakov going to send his sons down to Yosef to actually bring some more food, or they're going to die of starvation? We know that the condition for that to happen is that Yaakov has to send Binyamin with the brothers, and he's reluctant to do so. Will he or will he not? That was the big question of last week. And the big question of this week is Yosef going to reveal himself to his brothers and tell them the truth, that he is their brother? And both these dramas end with the same idea, with the same action, with the same notion of Yehuda. Yehuda is taking personal responsibility over the life and well-being of Binyamin. The minute Yaakov hears from Yehuda that Anochi a'ervenu miyadi tevakshenu, I am taking personal responsibility, I guarantee the safe being of Binyamin. So he sends Binyamin with the brothers down to Egypt. And then down in Egypt, once they get in trouble because of the special cup that was put into the baggage of Binyamin, and they're brought back now to Yosef, and Yosef wants to take Binyamin captive as a slave because he stole the cup. So Yehuda steps up and says, no, this is not going to happen. Why? Because I've taken personal responsibility over this man, and therefore take me as a slave instead of him. Ki avdecha arav et hanar, because I have personally taken responsibility and guaranteed his well-being. And when Yosef sees that, he says, okay, you know what? I'm Yosef. But why is that happening? We have to try and go into Yosef's mind. And Yosef had two big questions. Yosef's first big question is, let me understand something. What's going on? I know that Avraham had two children, and he loved his eldest child, his Ishmael. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to him, no, Ishmael is going to be rejected, and you're going to have a second child, who is Yitzchak, and he's going to be the main child. And Ishmael was rejected. And then in Yitzchak again, Yitzchak loved Esau, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, no, we're going to reject Esau, and you will have to see your future in Yaakov. And maybe Yaakov now also had this, and he had to reject the children of Rachel. That means even though he loved Yosef and Binyamin, he has to reject them in order to accept the other 10 children he has from the other 3 wives. Maybe. So his test is, how are they going to relate to Binyamin? Are they going to let him become a slave? In this way, he'll prove his point that they are the rejected children, so at least they'll be together. Yosef and Binyamin will be down in Egypt together as the rejected children. However, the minute Yehuda says, no, I'm taking personal responsibility over this boy, and he's going back to his father, he understands that he misunderstood all the way along. But there's another sentence here that surprised him. Yehuda tells over the story and says the first boy was sent out and was lost. How was he lost? ויצא האחד מאיתי ואומר אך טרוף טורף ולא ראיתי ונהנה. One of the boys, meaning of course Yosef, was sent out, and he was eaten up by some wild beasts. Yosef didn't know this cover story. He didn't know that's what his father thought. He was thinking, why isn't my father looking out for me? 22 years I'm in Egypt. Why hasn't he sent some search missions out to look for me? Because my father thinks I'm dead. So his father still loves me. My father still loves me. And the minute Yosef understands that, he says, you know what? I'm Yosef, your brother. Me Yosef Achichem. I'm Yosef, not just Yosef, I'm Yosef, your brother. I'm not Sofnat Paneach, what Paro calls me. No, I'm Yosef, your brother. Kipi Amdaber Elechem. I'm speaking to you in Hebrew, and that's why he took out all the other people from the room. Because when he said, I'm Yosef Achichem, he switched into Lashon HaKodesh to speak their language and their dialect. Amazing how this works. But what is the point here? The point is that between Yehuda and Binyamin, there's a special connection of guarantee. To such an extent that eventually when they settled the land of Israel, Yehuda and Binyamin have got pieces in the land of Israel which are combined. Ben Ktefav Shachem, where Beit HaMikdash is in between Yehuda and Binyamin, because there's such a lovely relationship of guaranteeing each other's well-being, to such an extent that when the kingdom split, the kingdom split to 10 tribes and to 2 tribes. Who are the 2 tribes? Yehuda and Binyamin always stayed together because they vouch for each other. And we say, Kol Yisrael Arevim Zeh B'zeh. We all have to, as Jews, we have to vouch for each other. We have to guarantee each other's safety. We have to care about each other. This week we buried Rav Chaim Druckmann Zecher Tzadik Livracha, who was a very special man, a very great rabbi. But the most amazing thing about him was how he cared for every Jew. For every Jew, he really had time and patience. He went to every Brit Milah and every Chasna wedding and every funeral, and he was busy with Am Yisrael all the time. When we had Ethiopian Olim, he opened special Ethiopian classes. When we had French Olim, he opened French classes. When we had Russian Olim, he opened special Russian classes. When there was a problem of conversion, he went into the issue of conversion. He personally was responsible for over 50,000 conversions. He was always caring about every Jew. Amazing man. Great loss at the age of 90. He managed a lot in his life. He was the figurehead of Yeshivot and Ulpanot Bnei Akiva. And we're now orphans because we've lost this man who cared so much about us. The father who really loved each one of his children. And we are this week in a week of mourning for Rav Chaim Druckmann Zecher Tzadik Livracha, with this great memory and with this great message. And his legacy is actually that we should care as much as we can for each other. Shabbat Shalom.